Hi, my name is Swara Dians and we are in Pondicheri, New York City. Today we'll be covering a very, very special event organized by Brown Girl Magazine. It's called Queering Desi.
We're so excited to have launched our first ever podcast called Queering Desi. And this is the celebration party of season 1. It's also Pride Month, so no better time to celebrate. So the host of the podcast, Priyanka Arora, brought together 4 amazing panelists. All of them are very well known in the South Asian LGBTQ community. And they'll be talking a little bit about themselves, about being on the podcast, and about the emergence of our community and how accepting we've all become.
I found my community and that's been my lifeline. I wouldn't have made it through a lot of what I made it through without realizing that I could be both South Asian and queer.
We have with Priyanka Arora from Brown Girl Magazine, who started a podcast, and today she was the host of this event. So tell us a little about the podcast and the event.
Yeah, so Queering Desi was basically my idea of uplifting the stories of South Asian LGBTQ people. I've shared my story for many years as an activist in the realm and as a writer, and I just felt like this was my chance to use those connections to uplift the stories of folks whose stories we don't hear and that intersect with being South Asian and that layered identity of it, and what that experience is like, both positive, negative, work environment, home environment, all of those things encompassing everything. I wanted to hear more stories.
What are some of the biggest hurdles that Desi families face with LGBT, their children coming out, or whatever they come to Desi Rainbow Parents and Allies for?
The main issues are ignorance, complete ignorance about what it means to be queer or trans, and also fear. And I think the fear is uppermost of all the people that I've talked to. And I understand the fear really well, because my first reaction when my child came out was overwhelming fear. It kind of felt like, the ground dropped away from beneath my feet, like, the sinking, feeling. I was just thinking, my child has signed up for a life that is going to be so hard. There are supportive parents, there are people in our community who value their kids and really do everything for them. They're not willing to stand up just because of the reactions that they're going to get.
How can South Asian spaces or people create spaces that are inclusive?
I try by example because I'm in that space, so I'm giving you a signal that if I'm in that space, it's okay. Toxic masculinity is a problem, and it's a problem within the queer community a lot. So even in queer spaces, it's not safe for women, or it becomes sometimes a safe space for straight women because there's a certain relationship. So I think that's a larger issue.
Just like being born as a female, going through 20 years of my life as a female, and then transitioning to male, I've lived in both worlds. So I've seen before how people treat women, and I've seen before how people treat men, and honestly it's sad, but it's truly a man's world, because I get treated so much better just for being a guy.
The more people that you have that are allies and that understand it, it creates a bigger space for other people. So I think that you just need to be patient. I think you just gotta really believe in people, because they really can surprise you.
We all have responsibility at this point to say that I'm here, you want to talk? Let's go. We can make this happen. We got this level of success or whatever. We want to be able to pass that on.
Brown Girl Magazine has been around for a good amount of time, and they have always been kind of at the forefront of finding different ways to connect with the South Asian culture and really push the boundaries as to how to reach this next generation. I think what they're doing as a podcast overall is something that is so necessary for this community, and I don't even actually mean for the queer South Asian community, I think for the South Asian community at large.
These people are our family, they're our friends, it's you, it's me, it's our neighbors. They're our Indian and Pakistani and South Asian friends and families. So it's really important to support them, and it's really important to understand them and make them feel human and make them feel equal.
Families are the biggest barriers oftentimes, and there's that kind of difficulty communicating with the family who maybe clings to more conservative values upon coming to the U.S. and trying to kind of, become the model minority and get the American dream, and in that way maybe either being repressive of the queer identity.
This event was so much helpful for a lot of people who are still trying to come out, because there was actually a mother on the panel who has gone through what other mothers will be going through, what my mother will go through if I tell her.
These are incredible people who just want the right to exist, not be labeled, and be who they are, be comfortable in their own skin, and be accepted and loved for who they are.